Jaguars coach Doug Peterson joins Frank Frangie right now. Presented by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
All right, time now to talk Jaguars football. We welcome in the coach, Doug Peterson, along with Frank Frangie here on a Friday afternoon. Doug, thanks for joining us. How you doing, man?
Doing well, Frank. Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Hey, home games are fun, man. The home games, it'll be the first one in a while. Can you sense the juice a little bit in the locker room? And it was a tough loss last week for all of us, but do you feel, can you sense that around you guys to get to play in front of the home crowd now?
Yeah, you can. It's always nice to get home, and especially for us to, our season opener really at home, and guys are feeling good. Obviously disappointed about last week, and the way we, the second half was just not who we are, and so we made an emphasis of that this week, and looking forward to the game this weekend.
Let's talk about health a little bit. Tyson Campbell obviously down for a little bit, and then the Savage thing just kind of crept up. So you're gonna have some young guys in the secondary. I'm guessing the fact that you played a lot of guys last week and throughout the preseason helps here. Buster Brown, I guess, starts. Tell us a little bit about your secondary moving forward here, Doug.
Yeah, there are some young players, but these young players have played a little bit in preseason, played last week, and it's unfortunate. Darnell Savage got a little injury there Thursday in practice, and so he's going to be out. Hopefully it's just a week. But Buster, Monteric Brown, he'll start at corner, and Jarian Jones, who obviously we're excited about, good young player. Will be at that nickel spot for Savage, and then Christian Braswell, somebody that we had a lot of high hopes for coming out of camp and did a nice job, in training camp, will be, elevated off our practice roster. So excited about that group. They're going against two really good receivers that the Browns have, and be fun to watch.
You played a lot of guys last week defensively. We had talked about that beforehand. I thought it worked. I think, well, maybe it's just because it's hot and it's Miami, but is that the way you think you're going to go moving forward here?
Yeah, I think especially in the D-line, you're going to see a lot more rotation. You're going to see, a lot more bodies out there. I think it's something that Ryan is used to. I was definitely used to that in Philly when Jim Schwartz was there. We rotated 8 guys all the time, and then you saw some of the young linebackers. Ventrell Miller was out there more. Yazir Abdullah was out there. Obviously Chad, Muma, stuff like that. So it's good to get these guys on the field, because what's going to happen is, 10 to 12 plays now over the course of the season could be, 180 to 200 snaps at the end of the year, and that's just taking wear and tear off of some of your starters.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Cleveland. We'll start with offense. You mentioned those two receivers, Amari and Judy. Judy just got there, and you got Deshaun Watson. What have you seen when you've watched Deshaun with the Browns with those two receivers? What do you see? And obviously, he's a mobile guy, so he can create problems. What do you see when you see their offense, Doug?
Yeah, that's the thing is that, Deshaun is still Deshaun. He's still capable of beating you with his legs, still got a really good arm, and I do think he's still working through, some timing and being on the same page with these two receivers. It's, it's probably still a work in progress a little bit. I know he's missed some time there and just kind of getting himself back comfortable, but very dangerous, we know Jerry Jeudy, the type of speed and athleticism he has, and I was in Philly with Amari Cooper in Dallas, and he's a very capable veteran receiver who can, not only beat you in the short game but also get behind you, and so just understanding, I think, a little bit about where these two guys are going to line up in the formations, especially with some young guys in our secondary. Communication is going to have to be imperative, going into this game.
And defensively, of course, it all starts with Myles Garrett. But you mentioned Jim Schwartz a minute ago. He's good. You know what he does. They led the league in defense last year. Same defense that you saw last year. What do you expect from the Browns here?
Yeah, same defensive structure. Obviously, they've added some piece. I think Rodney McLeod was hurt last year when we played him. He should be in the mix this year. Jordan Hicks, who we had in Philadelphia, in the middle linebacker spot, and just a downhill aggressive style of defense. And that's the Jim Schwartz. That's what he preaches and that's what he teaches. But you're absolutely right. It all starts with Myles Garrett, and you know, we anticipate him being on the offense's left, but he from time to time can line up over the center or maybe line up over your right tackle. So you got to be aware of where he's at as well. As
you look at a few trends in the league, Doug, number one's the kickoff. I didn't ask you about this last week, but I got thinking about it. Everyone's kicking it out of the end zone. Did you expect that? I know none of us really knew what to expect, but are you surprised that almost everybody's playing it that way? I guess that's the way to play it now. Let them start at the 30, right?
You know, I think what's happening are these guys these returners are getting better and better, and so it's just a matter of not kicking it to them. I mean, the starting field position's been around the 30-yard line, the last couple of weeks anyway, and it's something that it's still, I think it's a valuable piece if you can return the ball, but I think it can also be a dangerous piece because the blocking units are a lot closer than what they used to in the past, and it still becomes a dangerous but yet exciting football play if put in play.
Final thing or two, your players. I know they're fired up. I know Travis Etienne said after the game last week, he feels awful and he can't wait to play again. Tank Bigsby played well. How is Travis? How are those? Trevor, I thought, played okay most of the game. How are you guys? What's the mindset in your locker room right now, Doug?
Yeah, the guys are good. They are anxious to get back out on the field. I think they're excited to just erase a bad feeling last week. And Travis is the type of person that's gonna. You just don't see that from him. I think the last time I saw him do that was, our first year together against the Giants. If you remember, he fumbled in the red zone that one time, but yet he came back and had a good year. So looking forward to him bouncing back. Tank the same way, getting these guys back on the field. But I think as a team, seeing how we come out.
Doug, final thing. You played in this league. You played quarterback. You've coached quarterbacks. You coach now a whole group of players. When you saw what happened last night with Tua, we all watched it, and we certainly don't have the prism you do. What did you think? How did it hit you? What's the effect on a coach and a player when you see what happens like that?
Yeah, I tell you what, I know it's something that the league is trying to, get out of our league and take out and try to keep the health and safety of our players, first and foremost. And, when you see it, especially with a player that's had this in his history and his past, it's unfortunate, and nobody ever wants to see it. And obviously our thoughts and prayers are with Tua and his health and getting him back, healthy again. But at the same time, we still have to play football, right? And we understand the risks that are involved, and we do everything we can to protect our players as coaches, as a medical staff, as medical team, and it's unfortunate. And again, my thoughts and prayers are with Tua, and hopefully he has a good, healthy recovery. Here shortly in the next few weeks, if not months.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Doug, and very well said. Doug Peterson, head Jaguar coach. The Jags and the Browns get together on Sunday. Doug, thanks for spending some time, man. We appreciate it. See you on Sunday.
Yeah, you bet, Frank. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Hey, Mia here, and thanks so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars. For even more coverage of the Big Cats, be sure to subscribe to 1010XL Jaguars.